Hey guys, gals, ladies, I think that I'm going to try and just talk to you for a minute. Okay, like I said, the first time that I was ever uh, beaten by a man was on my wedding night. I was 16 years old, I was 4 months pregnant, and he thought since we were married that he owned me, and I became his slave in every sense of the meaning, every way you could describe it. That was a very, very dark time in my life. I had many of those times. But what I want to tell you is, I want you to understand something. Me in my shoes right now, and I'm about as fixed as I'm ever going to get. I will never be in another relationship. The only relationship I have now is with my autistic sons, my autistic daughter, and my sister, because my sister was there through a lot of it. And God, because God is always in the mix, always. And Jesus Christ. He is the only one that I will ever have any type of relationship with. There will be no more men. I don't do women, sorry. But any kind of relationship where I would have to give up my peace, my self-control, my safety, that will never, ever happen again. God willing, and I do mean that, because the times we're facing right now, it's got me kind of scared. But I want you to understand something. The things that were done to me, you would only see in, the most horrible of violent films. And as a result of the things that was done to me, I had 3 exploratory surgeries done on my female organs. I had to have an emergency hysterectomy when I was 29. Was thrown into perimenopausal almost immediately. I was way too young. I've had to have 4 different bladder lifts because of the damage that was done to me from being abused sexually. And horrifying. It was horrifying. The things that happened to me from my neck down. I have gastroparesis from being beaten and kicked with steel-toe boots and anything they could get their hands on, bats, whatever, they didn't care. Be beaten with those. My stomach's messed up. I cannot eat, and when I do eat, I can only eat once because the pain is so horrible that I can't digest stuff right. I have a kink in my intestine where I was. I can only assume that that's one of the times that was kicked in my stomach. I've had to have my gallbladder removed because it was damaged so badly. It didn't work, didn't function. And as a result of someone trying to take my life by not getting me medical attention when I had congestive heart failure and double pneumonia, I now have venous disease, lymphedema. I have vascular degenerative dementia disease. From the massive beatings that I took to my head and my neck, I suffered with vascular migraine headaches. Those are the headaches that you get that cause aneurysms. I suffered with those from the time I was 16 to the time I was 29, and still occasionally get them every once in a while. But my eyes have been so beaten. I've had a glass in my eye from busting the window right next to my face. I was pistol whipped. I've had concussion after concussion, brain bleeds that evidently must have healed themselves, or Jesus healed them for me. Because when I would get beaten, I was not allowed to go to a doctor. I wasn't allowed to call an ambulance. When he broke my nose, he fixed it himself. That was pure torture. He locked me in our home, wherever we were living at the time, until the bruises went away, because he did not want anybody to see them so that anybody could look bad at him. I suffer from not just post-traumatic stress disorder. I suffer from CPTSD, which is complex, I believe that's what it's called, post-traumatic stress disorder, because I was beaten several times over a very long period of time, 44 years of my life. I was victimized, I was kidnapped, I was raped, minus the G, several hundreds of times. I was hurt over and over and over again. And I am damaged from that. And that was the first 2 years of my marriage. And so when I got out of that marriage, I jumped into another one, hoping that they would, be better. But along with that, I took everything that had been done to me. I wasn't broken, but I was damaged. I was severely damaged. And I know that I caused a lot of the things that would happen to me later on in my life. Self-sabotage. Because I figured they were going to do it anyway. So just do it and get it over with. I have to stop the video, but I will